Charity Gaming Guild proudly brings to you
Charity Gaming Guild presents
The Charity Gaming Guild presents
the
Nat Pun
Pun
Podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to your community episode. You know who I'm joined by, but we're going to introduce them anyway. They're all lovely. They don't get words to describe them this time individually. They're all falling under the lovely category. We've got the lovely Ash.
Hello.
The lovely Andy.
Who's that?
And the lovely John.
Oh. Lost over Andy there. Yeah. Who's that? Don't matter. Moving on.
There's Andy's out there. You know who you are. So the theme that we've got for this week's community episode is everyone remembers their first time. So what I would like to talk about is your first experience for Dungeons and Dragons. And to start off with, to jump in, jump out whenever you like, who introduced you to D&D?
Do you want me to go? I'll go first.
You go first, John.
I'll go first. So Ash was probably the one who actually introduced me to D&D, but I started watching, it was Critical Role really. Started watching Critical Role, and then decided that what to find a game, and I saw Ash's Facebook post saying that he was starting a Tuesday night game of Dragons of Ice, Pegan it was. So yeah, I dropped him a message, and yeah, first game was with Ash.
Nice. Ash, who introduced you?
Well, I don't really think it was who, really. I think my D&D journey was a bit of an immaculate conception.
Oh.
I just kind of, I was going through a really rough patch, and I was just like Googling stuff, just looking at things to do and games to play, and happened upon D&D, watched some YouTube videos, which I can't really remember what they were. YouTube. And the very first thing I did was make a world. The first thing I ever did in D&D was make a world to play a game in. And then it just kind of started from there.
Did you make the world before you had any friends to play with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was the world All Havens?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember what the world was, I don't remember anything about it, but yeah.
Okay. Andy, who introduced you to D&D?
Well, like John, I was introduced to it by Ash, which is now making me think that maybe he's some sort of cult leader.
Join us.
And we are his disciples.
I want the 13 original D&D players to come back.
We are all worshipping at the altar of Ash.
Goodness.
I know, scary.
What about you, Bertie?
Can I?
What about you?
For me?
Yeah.
So I was introduced to D&D by some very good friends of mine. So where I live near a lot of the American air bases. And I met some people called Eric and Ruby. Lovely, lovely people, lovely couple. And they were here for a little while. Eric is American, Ruby's English. And they introduced me to it. Similarly, kind of Critical Role. There's something you could watch you might be interested in. Started listening. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. And then he was like, would you like to play? And I was like, huh? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. And that's, yeah. So I think it is one of those things where, apart from Ash, it's mainly kind of word of mouth that tends to get people into it, I think. And dare I ask how old you were when you got introduced to D&D, if you can remember?
I was 30-something. Well, so I was introduced to D&D long before because my auntie used to play years ago. So I had a whole bunch of second edition books.
Awesome.
And I think a third edition monster manual, like on the shelf, which I read. But yeah, in terms of actually playing, probably 30-ish.
Okay.
Maybe.
And for you, gentlemen?
26.
26.
7.
You were 7?
He was not invented then.
57.
57. We'll get there eventually. What I'm driving at is that you can be any age. This wasn't a judgment call. It was just saying that it is open to all ages. And that even if you are a late bloomer, it doesn't matter. The only thing that's sad is all the years you've missed out on playing, but you've got to get in as much as you can.
Late and wrinkly and...
Yeah. It's okay. We don't judge you.
Okay, what about you then? How old are you?
I can't
Rip us back.
answer that question because I can't remember.
To
Potentially.
work out my fingers.
Yeah, I think I was in my mid-20s, late 20s. So it was after university, but I don't know how old I was at university. So sometime after then. Between the end of university and now,
Excellent.
I'm really good with memories. Can you remember what the first game was that you were involved with?
Oh, God.
Don't say, oh God, I pre-prepped you for these questions and I gave you time. And just say, oh God, I hope that was more the memory of the game
Yes,
rather
it
than
was.
trying to
I know
remember.
the
Okay.
answer. I've got the answer. I've got the
Okay.
answer.
Shoot,
No,
shoot.
go on, John. You go first.
Oh, it might be a bit heavy.
Well,
We've got easy.
my first game was at the Temple of Ash.
Hey!
So it was so Ash was running Dragons of Ice by Peach, and that was my first game. Andy, you were in it. It was with Hazel, Phil,
Phil, yeah. Was that it?
Nathan, or Rob were in the hall as well, but I don't know if that was a different table.
So I've been playing longer than you.
I started in COVID, like after it was COVID, after they shut all the offices down, because it was basically working from home the whole time, and like friends we'd had James, other friends were sort of falling pregnant and moving away and stuff like that. So it was basically sat at home, not doing a huge amount. So it was
Jack
like,
shit.
I want something social to do.
Claire, you're welcome. We're keeping him busy.
So yeah, so I started around COVID time, just before COVID, I think it was.
And what kind of game was it?
Shit,
Oh,
it wasn't really. It was good.
I meant like what was the adventure about? But I mean, okay,
It was the
Good.
so it was the
Same.
Dragons of Ice by Peak module.
Insane.
Um,
What do you mean same?
Still that
Wow. I'm going to sit here and sulk now.
Oh,
It
he's very
wasn't shit.
upset.
I'm still here 6 years later, aren't I?
Yeah, pity
And
probably.
I still play with you on a Tuesday night, don't I?
You do?
There we go. There we go. So yeah, Dragons of Ice by Peak wasn't it? It was basically the campaign with a few extras thrown in. So
One or two.
I remember the first session. There was a festival and a manticore that attacked the festival. That's how you got the party together.
Yes. Yeah, I think I based the manticore off someone I know.
Oh, okay.
It's offensive.
Ah,
And isn't anybody that any listener listening will know. But I'm still not going to tell you their name. Just in case.
Just in case.
Chris knows them actually. They're Chris's spirit animal. There you go. Go and speak to Chris
okay.
and ask who his spirit animal is, and that's who the manticore is based on.
Ooh,
Who?
an owl.
It wasn't an owl.
No,
It
okay.
was a manticore.
Manticore. Aren't they part owl? They're part bird. Manticore.
Manticore. They're lion, bat.
Chicken. What was the first game that you?
Well, similar to John, in as much as I was dragged to the Temple of Ash. It was actually round Ash's house. It was in his in his kitchen.
In his garden.
No, it's in
You weren't
his
allowed in the house.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
Yes, it was in his kitchen, and I was a little bit. I gotta admit, I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it. I was a bit dubious.
Okay.
Not because of this isn't because there's a flip side to this. There's a flip side. I mean, I've been aware of D&D for some time because I've been playing board games and tabletop war games for a lot longer. But D&D was one of the games I just thought, I'm not sure I can get into that. You know, pretending to be someone else and putting on a silly voice just didn't appeal to me.
Here we are.
Yeah, and then Ash sort of introduced me to it, and it was one of the starter sets, wasn't it? Where
I wrote it.
Did you? No.
Yeah, Corchelian's Heart is what I ran. It was for you, Hazel, and
No. We played in your kitchen first, and I'm sure it
there
was.
was the kitchen game.
Was it that?
Testing
Oh,
everyone's
okay.
memories.
All right, okay. So yeah, and I sort of started playing it and just got more and more into it, and then I think I might have punched Ash for not introducing me earlier.
It always amazes me when you say that you couldn't think of doing silly voices and characters. I can't imagine you playing Warhammer like 15 years ago or whatever and not doing a silly voice for your general when your knights charge across the table. You must have done that.
No, the gun noises, yes. But not the that was a lad's cannon, by the way.
Ah,
Yeah, just in case you didn't know. But no, never actually voiced characters when I'm playing tabletop games. I mean, I might do now. I don't know. Maybe I'm blending my gaming experiences, but certainly when I first started, no.
And Ash, after you'd created your world and then you found some friends, what was your first
I wasn't a DM.
game? You weren't a DM?
No, the first time I played D&D, I did play as a player for a little bit. It was at a gaming hall in Glenham.
Glimmer?
A gaming hall, a village hall in Glenham, run by a guy who set the group up, and that's where I met Claire,
Okay.
and that's how I was introduced to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there with Hazel. Me and Hazel used to go to that hall before I did any events or games or charity.
And can you remember the premise of the game? Like what the game...
Yeah, it was Lost Mines of Fandelver.
Okay.
So it was the starter adventure.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave that one there.
There's lots of ways to learn to be a DM, and there's lots of things that inspire you to be a DM.
Okay.
Sometimes when you play an adventure, you might look at your DM and go, "I could do a better job than you," and give it a go. And that's kind of where I was. Like I could have done this, and I could have done that, and we could have done that. So after playing a few sessions, I broke away from that adventure and set my own game up in that hall on a different table. So we had 2 games running. And then the charity stuff happened, and I stepped away from that and had the charity.
Okay. Nice. Can you remember the first character that you created? What was it?
First character created, probably not, because D&D Beyond you created loads. But the first character played was a cleric in your game, life cleric.
Do you remember the race?
He was human.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name. All I remember is he wasn't stealthy because he's wearing loads of chainmail, carrying a big shield. And my dice rolling wasn't any better then.
Nice.
Can't remember much more than that.
And you, gentlemen?
Mine was a Horizon Walker Ranger, an elf called Dejor.
Dejon. What was your favourite thing?
MU? Deja.
Nilo was his surname. Yeah, it was a little joke there, didn't you? Yeah. It was crap.
Oh, okay.
It was awful. I had no idea what I was doing, really. Just kind of took it together. Very little guidance from the DM for creating it. I just thought, yeah, that sounds cool. It was absolute rubbish. Yeah. Lots I'd do differently.
Andy?
Well, I couldn't remember anything about my first character, but Ash did. As I say, it wasn't it wasn't a campaign, was it? It was a little one shot I did, and apparently I played a Kalashtar druid called Minarath.
Apparently.
A
Kalashtar? Isn't that the race of your
Yeah, I have no idea why we chose that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I did.
The miniature's probably still sat up on your cabinets.
Quite possibly.
Okay.
What about you, Bertie?
Yeah, what was your first character?
My first character was a tiefling because I think I looked through the book and that was the one that had the best picture. So I was like, I want to be one of them. That looks badass. And I think I was a warlock because it was the simplest option where I wanted to do a bit of magic, but I didn't want too much magic. And she developed from a very, very short game. It was literally my friend Eric as the DM, his wife Ruby as the other player, and me. So it was just two players and one DM, just a really quick one, a little jaunt.
Taster.
Yeah, little through a forest and then down into a crypt. And I think it was fun how I think I did something with dancing lights because I was obviously really reading through what you could do with the spells. And it's like you could send them out or you could have all of the lights come together and make the form of a humanoid. And I was like, oh, and I think we were there against some cultists. And so I put my dancing lights into the form of a humanoid and pretended that that humanoid was like the leader of the cult, like whatever it is that they were praying to. I was like, rah, 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 yeah, do what we say. And obviously, because there's only two of us, it's like, if we get into a fight, we're dead. And I managed to, just by using that, somehow get through. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I just made this thing up in my head and they let me do it and it worked. And I was like, oh. So, yeah, I've always had a little spot in my heart for a tiefling. Don't play them often, though. However, I will on Tuesday night. Okay, next question. If you can remember, how did you feel, or what was the circumstance? I know this is really pulling at the old memory banks for the first roll of either a nat 1 or a nat 20. Can you remember that feeling or what happened when you did it for the first time?
Well, nat 1, I just thought, don't change there then. And when I get a nat 20, I'll tell you.
Okay. You say that like you didn't get some in the game we played a couple of weeks ago.
It's true. It's true. I don't know. I'd say I don't think hitting the nat 1 really has an impact on me because I know that that's what I'm going to roll. I have definitely annoyed the dice gods at some point, and they are punishing me. So, I mean, Ash has seen me when I've done 40k and I'm rolling like 10 d6s, and guaranteed 5 of them will be a 1.
It's quite funny to see, actually.
So the nat 20s are a big thing because they don't happen that often. I mean, I know that, well, with the exception of Becca.
Yeah, Becca at World Handle, yeah.
Yeah. They don't happen that often for any of us, but for me, it does feel like they're very much a rarity. So I do get really excited.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I think it's interesting that I don't remember because we put so much on a nat 1 and a nat 20. And yet what is memorable about our games aren't the nat 1s and the nat 20s.
Yeah.
It's the stories, it's the people, it's the characters. That's the memorable part.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't remember.
Do you have widen it out to make it maybe easier? Do you have a single memorable nat 1 or nat 20 for something that happened and you were just like, wow, that came in clutch, or that really just screwed me right now and it sticks in your mind?
Yeah, there is one actually, which is when myself, Andy, and you, Bertie, were playing in Chris's campaign. I was Zaphon.
Yeah.
And we went, I don't know if you remember, we went inside like a snow globe. And there was a house. And there was a lich in this house. And I cast Witch Bolt. So Zaphon was a warlock. I cast Witch Bolt, obviously at a high level, and got a nat 20 on the damage. It's like 120 points of damage to this creature. Yeah. That's probably the most memorable nat 20 I've had that I can remember.
Nice. John?
I don't remember how I felt for the first nat 1 or nat 20, but I always find nat 1's more exciting than nat 20s. Nat 20s, I know what's going to happen. You roll twice as many dice, you can do something like damage cool, but nat 1 is somebody else. Like, you're trusting your DM to do something fun and cool with that instead, and I think that's more exciting.
There's certainly more exciting on the podcast. Certainly more exciting on our podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And then all the rest of it, but yeah, I mean, memorable nat 1s. I feel like I had so many as dots where I was like, I described something cool I was going to do and then rolled a nat 1 and I only flipped it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to jump off the balcony, swing from the chandelier and drop on them. And it's like, right, you rolled a nat 1, you trip over the balcony and fall on somebody else, that sort of stuff. And happening all the time, wasn't it? He's a useless character, really.
Nice.
And I still couldn't kill him. What about you, Bertie?
For me, I think, can't remember specifics when I first started, but I think my relationship with nat 20s and nat 1s has definitely changed. So I think probably the first time I got a nat 1, I can fully imagine myself being absolutely distraught and feeling like the world was ending. Like, this is just failed. This is the worst shit in the world. I hate this game. I'm never playing again. Everyone's better than me. But now it's quite fun. When you get a nat 1, I don't mind them because I think that's the fun of the narrative of it, especially when it's in a narrative situation and failing at stuff epically. It's like, yeah, that's a real character. For me, the nat 20s, though, is I've been quite lucky in that I've had some epic nat 20s come in at clutch moments. So I had one instance where, so in the game that we had with all of the dragons,
On Wings of Gold.
yes, I was the last person to roll, and I rolled double nat 20s to like end the fight, and we won. And I was in another game with some of my friends, and I had triple advantage or whatever, and I rolled 3 nat 20s all at once
Wow.
to have something happen. And I was like, wow. But the best one is actually not a nat 20 or a nat 1 for me, is I rolled 100 on it wasn't even a percentile dice, it was the 100-sided dice.
Dice, nice.
And it was an absolutely insane high stakes roll. It was like, the only way that you can get this thing to happen is to roll a 100 on that dice. I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And I rolled it, and I don't even know what it was, but just the feeling of seeing, because it's so many faces. I'm like, which one is it? What have I rolled? To then figure out I'd actually rolled 100. I was like, I don't even care what I've managed to do. Just the simple fact that number is on top on this dice. I'm so excited right now. That was like the peak for me when it came to my dice rolling. So anytime you ask us to do a percentile, I'm so excited. Maybe it'll happen again. It might not be what I need to roll, but if I can get it, that's so cool. I will come back to you, Andy. Did you think of an example? Because I only asked you about your feelings about it, but if you thought of a memorable nat 1 or nat 20?
Not memorable per se, but I know, going back to the point I made earlier about offending the dice gods, I know that that's the case because there are 2 games I love to play, tabletop games, where actually dice rolling is the reverse of most games. So you actually roll low. So a 1 is actually a critical hit, and a 20 is a critical miss. And when I play those games, I will roll lots of 20s and lots of fuck all 1s.
Amazing.
So no, I can't think of anything specific. An event. I'd probably so few and far between them.
That's fine.
Maybe in your new campaign being run by John on Tuesday
Yes.
nights. That's when you're gonna.
We'll make
My little
room for
artist
them. We'll hold the moment for them to make them momentous for you. So where you came into it for the first time, if you were nervous or uncomfortable or unsure, how did you overcome it, or what methods were used at the table to kind of help ease you into the game?
I think for me, so having watched things like Critical Role, having had to play around with D&D Beyond to help with kind of the comfort level, I suppose, of like, it's not that, like, I understand enough to feel comfortable to go in and play and not look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Not that that's actually necessary at all. Now I've played it and realised I don't need to know any of that stuff. You can just rock up and wing it and figure out as you go. But I think I was a bit like, because we hadn't spoken in years, really, had we?
We went to school together, and then
after school drifted, like, didn't keep in touch or anything like that. It's been years, so it's kind of like, do I message? Do I not message? You know, whatever message now, she goes, oh, you're a knobhead, no thanks, or whatever.
That's the sort of thing I'd say, to be fair.
Really likely to say that now.
Probably, yeah.
I think that's how he introduced you to me.
Make Johnny's a knobhead. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so just sent a message and then went for it. I knew you, knew Hazel, obviously didn't know Andy. I have a feeling I knew Phil. Like, his name rings a bell with me, but I cannot place where I know him from. But I'm sure
he's probably listening. He's like, we went to school together, we went on holiday together, we were in the trenches together, and you've just forgotten me, man.
You're my second cousin.
Yeah.
I'm your brother.
It was better wedding.
So, but yeah, just sort of reached out and went for it. Once I decide to do something, I find it quite easy just to go, well, I'm just going to attack it and go for it. So
you don't get like those
I think
nervous wee feelings beforehand.
Everybody gets those, don't they? Everybody gets those.
Guess what?
A bit.
You got it now?
You. Nervous
wee feelings.
Nervous wheeze? No, you just space yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
To be fair, mine's more nervous gas. I tend to get nervous gas, which is very awkward for someone who's done a lot of performing arts, because being in the wings of a performance with nervous gas, especially when those wings are literally, you're just in a box, the theatre is a box theatre, so there is no backstage. You have to walk behind curtains to get out, so you're just gassing up the whole area. So I would think I would prefer nervous wheeze if I had a choice. But it's a good thing to get over or be able to work through. Tangent completed, thank you. How about you guys? Any nervousness that you've had to get over? Anyone who helped you kind of ease into the game? You're looking at each other like threateningly, as if.
Am I going to go?
You go.
Okay. I don't remember being nervous about being a player, but I definitely was nervous about DMing for the first time and getting that set up. And it was Rue, who many of you will know as a trustee, who kind of he turned around to me and he said, well, if you want to do it, just do it. But all right, I will. So that kind of gave me the push to do it, but I still get nervous every time I sit down to run a game. It can be a podcast episode, and I'll still have nerves about running that because I want it to go well and I want the story to come across well. And Tuesday nights, I still get nervous every time I sit down behind the screen. Every single game that I play or run or anything, Elite Adventures, I know I'll be nervous. I'll sit down behind the screen to do that. But I think using those nerves to spur yourself on is how to deal with it and not to kind of let it consume you, so to speak. So you can like turn it around. And when people, because obviously we help a lot of people DM and take those first steps into DMing, and the first thing people say to me is, I'm too nervous to do it. I don't have confidence to do it. So, well, you're nervous because you care. You're nervous because you want it to go well. So take those nerves and then put that energy back into it. And actually, once you start, you'll enjoy and you'll relax into it. Yeah. And probably the most nervous I've ever been to run a game was the first year we went to Momo's, because it was Momo's then, not Fuel, because they've rebranded themselves and confused everybody. Off on a tangent. We ran Azrael Sunderin, and I was meant to have, who was it? Someone was meant to come up and DM, and they couldn't make it anymore. So I had to step in last minute and run the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd written Azrael Sunderin, but I'd never run it because Andy, Nathan, and Chris ran it first time round. And I was so nervous, sat down behind that screen. I remember being sat there with the adventure. All the players are there, we're ready to go. I'm like, right, I've got to start this now. Shit, okay. And then just having to kind of push myself to actually start the game. And 10 minutes in, absolutely fine. The players were great, we had an amazing time. But it's overcoming those nerves and never ever go away for me.
Andy?
I don't think I get nervous before a game. I think the only time I was ever genuinely nervous is when Ash kind of invited me to be a DM for the first time, which unfortunately was also the Azrael Sundering. So my first ever game of DMing, it was a 12-hour game. And I think the idea of doing that and knowing that, you know, you're going to have all these players, many of which I wouldn't know, and I wanted them to have a good time, was a nerve-wracking experience. But the more I sort of read through the story and I started doing my preparation and getting everything together and the models and whatever, those nerves disappeared and it became excitement. And that's how I am at every game now. I mean, I'm excited to present what I've prepared. And, you know, Ash does a tremendous job in writing the story for most of the big events, which I then rewrite some of it. But yeah, I think, you know, having such a solid sort of story, and with my, you know, I'm comfortable with the style I present. I know my strengths and I play to them. So I get excited. I don't really suffer with nerves from it.
I think I'm similar for a DM perspective, similar to kind of what you were saying. I get nervous before, but try and push that energy into getting going. And as soon as you start, like, there's other things to think about, and it's not going. But for the pre-written things, I find I have to do what you're saying about actually taking some time to prepare. Like, if I just try and run it straight as it is without, I find I work better off with bullet points rather than paragraphs, mostly because I can read them quickly. So I tend to rewrite a lot of stuff into bullet points and things like that, and that helps calm any nerves down and make sure I understand what I'm doing.
So for me, I
We
think.
weren't asking.
Well, okay, I'm answering the question. It's my episode. I am genuinely quite an anxious person. So my worst nightmare is going to a place that I've never been before and meeting people that I've never met before. That is absolutely terrifying to me. So I was very grateful for Eric bringing me into it because they both came to my house.
Nice.
It was people that I knew as just the three of us, and they introduced me to it. And then when they were like, "Do you like it?" and I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Cool, okay." Well, I've got some other friends who would be interested in playing, so they all came around to mine, and it was new people, but it was in my safe space, coming in and then getting to know them. And then I did go to other people's houses and stuff, and we went and played. But because I already knew them, it wasn't too bad. So I think it's just understanding if you are someone who's lucky enough to be aware of situations where you are uncomfortable. And I didn't ask. I didn't say, "Can we please just do it at mine and only three of us?" As far as my recollection goes. So I was quite lucky that he was someone who understood, and he was like, "Yes, I'm going to come to you. It'll just be the three of us. Just give it a little try, see how we're going." So then when we got into this is the tricky bit. I cannot remember how I got involved with the Charity Gamer Guild. To me, the idea that I would have just been like, "Yeah, I'll do that," is mind-blowing. But I was obviously so desperate because I think it was probably at a time where all of the people that I played D&D with had moved, because all of them were in the Air Force. Yeah. So they all got PCOS. They all just went to different countries, so Japan and Texas and all this, and they've all just gone. So I was like, well, I really enjoyed that, and I want to play more, but I don't have anybody left to play with, and well, I want to, but I'm going to have to go outside to do so. So I think it was so wonderful because it was such a welcoming environment, and I think a lot of it was kind of online first, obviously. So again, I'm in my safe space. I'm at home. The bad people can't get me. But it was online, so it's like cameras on, cameras off, however I'm feeling, and I could sit there and I could have my mini panic attack, and then no one noticed, and it was fine, just getting used to people. And then when we did meet in person, it's like, "Oh wait, I know maybe not your voice, but your face, but I know this person's voice."
The ice broken, isn't it?
We've already communicated, so even though I'm coming into a space I've never been to before and it's horrifying, I'm like gravitating towards them, like, "Yes, I'm just vibrating over here, but it will pass in a few minutes, don't worry." So it was that kind of thing.
When the batteries run out.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. So then when I came into the DM side of it, DMing, because I DM for my friends before, but DMing in the guild, it was so much easier because I'd been a player for so long. So I knew who I was with. I was very comfortable. I was like, I know how these people are going to react to what I do. I'm in a safe space with safe people, and it's familiar to me. So that was one of the things. It was having that support of the people around you, I think, is a very big impact on what you do.
I think that transition into DM, if you've only ever watched something like Critical Role as well, feels like it's a massive, massive step, doesn't it? Because it is a TV show for intensive purposes. It's not how a normal game runs with a normal DM. People do make mistakes and just go, "Oh, back it up, hold on, I forgot to add this, or I forgot to do that," or whatever anyway. So
yes,
let's make it a bit easier.
We literally did that in the episode this month, didn't we, with one of your manoeuvres? We literally backed up a little bit and just added it in at the end, whereas that doesn't necessarily happen.
No.
Is there anything that you think you would want to change about the first time you either played or were a DM? Is there anything that sticks out to you that you were like, if that had been a little different?
I don't think there would have been for me. No? I think it was the first game, I'd say Ash was DMing. Andy, Hazel, Phil, all really good collaborative players who had you all had a little bit more experience than me, helped me along with stuff. Everyone was very patient. I think it was a good start. Some weirdness in there as well. I seem to remember your centaur character sleeping in the hedge outside of town instead of in the tavern. Like, it's just odd stuff. That you can do weird stuff as well. So I think I had a really good introduction to it.
Nice.
People are looking at me.
Yeah.
I don't think gaming wise there's anything I would have changed in our first game. It was a nice light introduction. It got me hooked very, very early into the game.
Don't go too much on that because we have a question about that later.
Okay. I think DMing, I guess the only thing, as we know, one of my presentation styles is all about the aesthetics. So I use a lot of digital maps and models, and I don't think I came across the digital map side of it straight away. So I think I was using printed maps and whatever. I kind of wish I'd gone all in straight away.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would have changed.
You go all in on something straight away. Don't believe that for a second. It doesn't sound like you.
Are you making reference to my kind of, purchasing?
Extracurricular proclivities. There's 3 words for you.
Possibly.
Possibly 2. I don't know if it's hyphenated. Ash?
I wish that when I first DM'd, I hadn't run a pre-written adventure. I just ran something I'd written.
Okay.
Because I think I'd have had more fun with it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay. Can I answer the question, or are you going to get upset?
Go on, Bertie, answer the question.
Go on.
Go on, Bertie.
So mine would be probably, again, similarly under the DMing. The first time I DM'd, I think it was Princess of the Apocalypse book. That was my first. That was my
adventure,
first.
Prince of the Apocalypse.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Intense, huh?
Ooh, that's a tricky one, yeah.
so for me, I wish that I had actually read the entire book through.
Yeah, not surprised.
Because it wasn't too bad. I did read most of it. I think the issue is that we only got to a certain point, and then quite a few of the people that I was playing with had to leave because they were being sent to different countries. So I was like, I don't want to carry on with them. A lot of them were going. I was like, we need to end it. But we weren't at a point in the story where we were anywhere near
A sensible stopping point.
Yeah. So I think in the end I ended up making it up, but because I wasn't familiar enough with D&D, it was, I do feel bad for them. It was a shit ending. I transported them to another plane, like one of them got stuck in the water plane and was drowning. One of them got stuck in the fire plane because it got messed up and was just burning. And the ones who actually got to the right plane ended up fighting a monster. And I was like, it has to end. It has to end here. And so it was a titan, basically, is what they were fighting, and they were maybe a level 7. And I was like, oh. So the whole point of it was to end it. So I think one of them, it flicked them with his finger, and they just got yeeted across this cavern and just hit a wall, and it's like instant death. Because I was like, I have no idea how to get this. I want it to be epic, but I hadn't.
Brilliant. I love it. Love it.
How to get that like player, enjoyment for the end. And the worst thing, we would never listen to this because he doesn't give a crap. But the person in the group that I was the least fond of is the one who somehow, because of his stupid character build, survived. I was like, for fuck's sake, this is so annoying. So I think I ended up somehow killing him. I think he was the one maybe that got flicked across the cavern. So I was like, you can't survive this. Get out of here. And there was just like a random NPC that I had much more than he needed to be. He was just like an old dude that they met, and he wasn't supposed to be anything, but they got a little bit attached, and I was like, cool, we're going to run with this. He died. They then had to transport him somewhere to bring him back to life. It wasn't in the book at all. I just made all this crap up. And then he appears. But there's like 50 of him, and somehow he was a good dog. It's just the problem. My brain is way too chaotic. So when you've asked me to write my adventure, Ash, this is what I mean. I'm struggling.
This is gold. You've got to run that.
Yeah, and it was just, I think I turned them all into like
I feel like you should
ghosts.
turn that ending into a one-shot for us and run it.
It was, and I think at the end I was just like, and that's it.
Have fun in Singapore.
Yeah.
Get in the States.
I don't know. So for me, it will definitely be a lot more prep. I am a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. I'm not a good prep.
You say that. I don't know how well those modules actually end. The ones I've read all end a little bit kind of, and the bad guy's dead, finish. But they don't conclude brilliantly, a lot of them, even in the pre-written stuff.
I mean, it could be worse. You could invest as a player into a year-long campaign and and the DM says, "Oh, I can't run this anymore. Got no time. So this is how it ends." He just messages you.
Oh. I don't know why he's looking at Ash with such a
Well,
chagrin.
because I'm still heartbroken that Brint never actually.
Company of Fate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, that is quite a tricky thing because there have been a lot of campaigns that we've done as part of the guild, especially when it first started, that I was really enjoying,
Yeah.
and because of scheduling issues, they just went away. It's like, So that, for me, that's why I find it quite tricky sometimes remembering what's going on in the world, because it just gets crossed and I'm like, I did I do that? Is this person? No, that happened in this one. Was I involved? No, I wasn't in that game. Okay, but I know that it happened. But okay, there were giants at some point. I know there were giants and there was like a floating cloud palace, but I don't know where. So it's a little bit tricky. So I do get that. I appreciate that. It's not fun when you don't get to finish it. So
Online campaigns are notoriously hard to run as well.
Yeah.
It's much easier for someone to not turn up for an online session, whereas when you run it face to face, their commitment is much higher level of commitment. People will turn up for it.
But I also think when you look at things like the Tuesday night games and the table sizes that we run at 6 and stuff like that helps keep things moving, doesn't it? Because you're not cancelling sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone can't make it and the game's got 6 people in, you can run with 5 or 4 or whatever. It gives you a bit of flexibility to keep everything going and encourage people to come back. I think. So
Yeah.
a slightly large table size makes a difference.
I think also that for the in-person ones, it's a much bigger commitment. So when you say yes to it, you 90% mean yes.
Absolutely.
For the online ones,
90%?
90%. There's always, if I've had a bad day, that 10% is going to keep me in that house no matter what you do. I'm sorry, but I can't people today. So there's, with the online
I'm asking you
ones,
to people, I'm asking you to tiefling.
that was a very good comeback and may work in your favour later.
Thank you.
The online ones, it is a case of it's very easy to be like, well, you're already in your house. I was already sitting in front of the TV. I definitely haven't done this. Oh, I'm having tech issues. I don't know if I can get online this evening. And it's just, I think because you don't have to do that effort of like, get dressed, get out of your pajamas, get in the car, get to the location, kind of, you have your prepped with your snacks and you've got your little baggie with your blankie in. It's that kind of situation of being ready and going. It's a big difference.
I'm sorry, Andy. I apologise for not finishing your campaign.
Brint never met.
Brint never met who?
Never found Mara.
Oh well, Mara's dead.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. You're right. I just said that to wind you up. Mara's very much alive and well and working with grief screen at the moment.
Before a fisticuffs breaks out. Next question is, how do you come up with your characters and your character names? Are you a random character generator kind? Do you put a lot of effort in? Do you do it based on the narrative or the build?
Honestly, I tend to have seen something on TV that goes, that would be a cool character, and then that's where it starts, and then it gets tweaked a bit, and then it turns into a cleric.
Brilliant. At least he's honest.
I mean, Dodds, but it turned into a cleric at the end.
It turned into a cleric at the end, yeah, you're right.
Into a cleric at the end.
Benny was a cleric.
Yeah. I've got Targwid in the podcast campaign inside me at some point. That's going to be multi-class into cleric, isn't it? Let's be honest.
That's pretty, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If that
None of the rest
sentence
of us
ever taken
heal.
out of context will be beautiful.
I've got Tarquin inside me. Ooh. My character creation is not as exciting as that. I play characters that I need to learn the classes for because I don't get to play very often.
Okay.
So because I spend most of my time writing or DMing, if I've got a class that I know not a lot about,
So for you, it's more kind of having the chance to adventure in the classes as well. Yeah, I think people who play a lot, I know I definitely get into the same character a lot. And I kind of end in the same person. Like, I'm either a warlock or I'm a monk or I'm a fighter. So I think it's good that if you don't play as often, you probably do well. have a bit more fun.
I had the plastic bag next to it. It smelled in the plastic bag.
I'm like, what's going on?
I was like, there is a bit of a
So
weird
just
going on.
Just for our listeners, the heat wrap was melted in a plastic bag filled.
Yeah,
with,
my plastic bag was
smoke.
right next to the
So we've
heater.
been breathing in very, very bad bag toxins. So if there aren't any future episodes, you know what?
And actually,
dear.
my top is very hot.
Oh. Fire!
Mm.
Oh goodness. Oh, and it's a bag for life as well. That's
Not anymore.
15p
That's even more
straight down the drain.
Hold on.
Make sure
Is
the
there anything
contents
in the
inside
bag?
aren't damaged.
Yeah. It's got me. It's glued all my tombstones together.
Oh. Oh no! Quick.
Oh, that's hot.
Make down a bit.
That's
Burn yourself.
yeah. Oh, that's stuck.
Oh gosh.
Mm.
So the PSA here, kids, is if you are in a very cold location and you have one of those electric heater styles,
Yeah.
make sure that it is, as the guidance normally says, not covered. It's not behind anything. The front of it is fully covered in clear, because you are going to melt not only plastic but also the contents of the bag. Oh, it's just, Andy.
Oh, look at me, all tombstones are all glued together. No, yeah, I've got a big plastic tombstone ball.
It's like, you know, in D&D when you get all the wraps
That's
like,
hot.
stuck together.
Chuck it outside and find with it.
You might want to edit this, possibly.
No,
Don't
there is a high
burn
chance
yourself.
this stays in. Just a pre-warning.
I looked it up and I was like, is it smoky? Is it just my eyes? I can smell it.
9 times out of 10, it's just my eyeballs. So that's why I was like, no, that seems
Are
normal.
they
Yeah.
all gone?
All the
or
little
some
places.
salvageable?
Oh yeah, no, I've got a whole. Yeah, they're all right. They'll be all right.
Don't open it too long, though.
Sorry, just
I know. It's just,
Mm.
I can feel my toes and I don't want to not be able to feel them again.
My God.
The fun thing is if you hadn't said anything, we would have been oblivious. It would have been like an ooze of tombstones in the bottom of that bag. Oh.
Well, that was fun.
So Andy, how do you come up with creating your characters?
Well, I melt them by fire. Characters. I often choose the class that I think will be easier to play because I do struggle with detail. I do struggle to sort of get to grips with some of the more complex rules. So I'll pick a class that's easy to run. I'll also look for something, because I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I like to be a bit of a joker. So sometimes I will look to see what comic opportunities will arise from that, like, you know, setting fire to a bag of props. I think that I did that deliberately to make you all laugh.
Your character names.
Well, that can vary. Sometimes I will just blatantly use the name of a character from a TV series or film that I like Riddick from the films. Sometimes I'm a little more creative. Sometimes I'll just randomly make names up. Oh, that sounds all right. But more recently, I've kind of used rude words but written them backwards.
Which is a legitimate way to create a character name.
Yes,
Good enough.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
You see, I mean, it's like, you know, I'm sure people have picked up on the character from this campaign.
Gee.
Gary.
Yeah,
Bob.
spot.
Yeah. And if you haven't, surprise!
You have that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a warlock I want to play called Sinep.
Sinep. Oh, is this one I've got to write down and then
Oh,
read
yes.
backwards? Oh, I thought he was starting with
I
a
don't know
C.
why. I don't know why I whispered it
Whispered
like
the
we
word.
don't swear on the podcast. I
Whispered
can't
the-
say that word.
For the audience who didn't get it either, it didn't begin with a C. It began with an S, and it is penis written backwards.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I'm very mature.
Yeah.
Did I mention I set fire to my bag? Ah.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's more about how much fun can I bring to a game with my character. You know, whether there's any traits that I mean, it's like if I play a little goblin, then I've got a stupid little voice and I'll be aggressive, but knowing full well I can't follow through with my threats, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we know that there was a bodily function related theme to Thorin.
There's been a bodily function related theme to a lot of your characters.
Well, that's very true.
In name or in
Yes.
action. That's why you were so excited about the fart fire.
Oh
in the
yes,
movies.
yeah. I'm sure he will be brilliant. I have to think of a really creative name for him as well. Sorry, I'll just
It's fine.
playing about more.
Just fiddling. When it comes to my characters, I start off with the best of intentions. I try and think of being a thespian with a TH. I enjoy playing the characters. I love acting. It's an absolute joy for me. So I like creating a character of the type of person that I would like to experience being for a little while. So like a really, tall, muscly, confident woman who just walks in and does the thing and then gets out of there. The problem is, every single character I create starts off with the intention of a very timid and smart and kind of fun one, and it always kind of degrades into just being another version of me, who is this absolute chaos pot of nervous energy and can't take anything seriously, and most of the time gets too overexcited and ends up potentially ruining things by not staying in character. So I have the best of intentions when I start. Like, I quite enjoy playing men, but what's fun is that unless I put a stick-on beard on my face, the amount of times at a table when I've been referred to as a female when I'm playing a man, and I've got my character picture and it's like a shirtless man with huge rippling muscles, no hair, like a long beard, and you talk like this, and it's like, and what's your character? What's she doing? I'm like, how else do I convey that I'm trying to? I was really into it. I was really into being a dude, and now I'm Bertie. I'm just Bertie playing at a table in this game now. But that's fine because she enjoys it too.
See, that's raised a lot of questions for me, but not D&D related.
Okay. What's your question? Is it a podcast, friend?
No,
No,
it's not. No, it is. Because you've already spoken about how anxious you can be and how you're nervous, and the worst thing you think of is going to meet new people in a new place.
Yeah.
But you also do all this acting and thespian, and so you're going to be standing up on a stage in front of a load of strangers.
Yes.
So how?
Stage lights, darling.
Ah.
I can't see you.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know they're there.
I do. I know they're there, but if I can't see them, but also when I'm on stage, I'm not me. I'm someone else.
Okay.
So I sing, and I sing on stage. If I sing on stage as a character, I'm absolutely fine. If I go on stage as myself and I sing, I'm so nervous, my full body shakes. My friend asked me to sing at her wedding, and I had to, whilst singing, slip off my shoes because I was shaking so much that my heels were vibrating, going on the floor. It's that bad. So the stage swipe stuff it's a whole different ballgame. Try and explain that to people as going, can't see you and I'm not me. So it's absolutely separate. So there's your answer.
Thank you.
Final question.
Did you answer about the getting into character, creating characters thing?
Yeah, I said about using it as a research opportunity, basically, because I DM and write so much.
To be fair, it was at the pinnacle of the smoke and fire.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure, if you want to go back, listen again to that section, just in case you missed it.
It wasn't interesting, don't worry about it.
It was good. It's good. There are different options. So, final question for this week's episode is: what hooked you for D&D? What was it that made you go, I want to do this again?
I think it's because I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that. I don't think I've ever played a game of D&D where we haven't laughed at some point. Like, properly laughed.
Good old belly chores.
We do that a lot on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Particularly. There's a lot of silly stuff, isn't there? Which means we're all having fun.
But even in the serious stuff, we end up laughing at some point, don't we? Weirdly, the more serious it gets, the more stupid the jokes get. But
So it's the funny for you. Very nice. Ash?
Specifically D&D or like
Yeah.
where we are now?
We can give an answer for both if you want.
Okay.
One for each.
So specifically D&D, I think it's the feeling, because I DM a lot, I think it's the feeling of being able to be in control of everything, but being able to facilitate the situation and to have people interact with something that I've made and enjoy it, and to see people enjoy the adventures and things like that. That's what I love, is seeing people. Like, I'll write something and I'll put it in the game and I'll set it all up and I'll just sit back and wait and just watch what the players do. And I talk about that a lot with the DMs, is silence is important. Don't feel like you have to fill it, let your players fill it, just sit there quietly. And just seeing how people pull things apart and interact with things and do things in ways that you never ever expected them to do is hugely rewarding for me, massively so. So I absolutely love that. And for the charity side of things, seeing our community come together and grow into what it is today is what keeps me doing this over and over. And we do a whole year. And all the year, I've got to write this, 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 and then I'm writing this, then we're doing that. And then November gets here, and I sit there and I look at a hall full of people, all playing D&D, all for the same reason. I'm like, oh, this is why we do it. This is why we're here, because we spend all year building up to this point. And especially last year when we sat in that hall, loads of people, and Carl and Joshua from the James Anthony Foundation are sitting at your table, Andy, and are playing and having an amazing time. I'm like, yeah, this is why we do it.
Nice. Andy?
Yeah, I think a lot of what Ash has said, I will mirror. I've always been the classroom clown. You know, going back to when I was at school, I would always be the one that tried to make people funny and laugh. And I get a real buzz out of making people smile and laugh. So to sit there and have the opportunity to give people a few hours of imaginative freedom and fun, it to me it's a high. I just love doing it.
Nice.
What about you?
For me, it is trying to think of the best way to explain it. You know, there was a point when you were a child, when you were playing with your toys, and the thing that you were playing was genuinely happening. Like what you were imagining. I remember playing with like a Barbie and a Ken, and I wasn't playing. Whatever I was enacting was genuinely happening because your imagination is so strong at that age that it's really occurring in front of you. And there was a certain point where I was playing and I was like, oh, these are just toys. That's gone now. Acting is another way of getting into that, but there are a lot of constraints. It's, unless you're doing improv, it's very much these are the lines and this is the scene and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it's fun and you're getting that kind of performance side of it, but it's still very limiting. Video games, that escapism is brilliant, but you're limited by what is happening in those games. D&D is, as far as I'm concerned, the only game that I've come across so far as an adult where you get to have the same freedom and abandon as when you were a child to genuinely be playing and seeing what you were experiencing with your imagination with no constraints. There are no limits on it. And it is just the best game. You can do anything. You can be surprised by stuff. If you play the same video game 5 times in a row, the same thing's going to happen. You're never going to be surprised. If you play a D&D game 5 times in a row, it's never the same. Yeah, the main plot points and that what happens, but even those can change. You never know what to expect. It's so exciting. The idea of turning up and going, I have no idea what's going to happen and I'm so ready for this. I just want to sit around a table with my friends and make up stories and imagine stuff in my head. So that's why I get really excited going, can I just tell you that Adonis, he looks like a drag queen right now in my head. That's what happens for me. It's a real, like, visualizing it. I'm really experiencing it. And that escapism is just such a clean slate. I know we've mentioned on previous episodes like mental health and gaming and stuff, but for me, especially when I'm having trouble and I'm struggling, it is the one thing that I can do and it can just switch you off and you just forget about everything else. But genuine, it's just like nothing else matters right now. Nothing else is happening. I'm just in this room with my friends, killing a dragon. That's what we're doing. And then we're going to go to a brothel and we're all going to have sex with hookers. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Did I miss an episode?
Sorry, that was a preview for next month. So
I stayed behind and had sex with the dragon.
as you are, fine to do. And that's the beauty of the game. You want to sleep with that dragon? All you got to do is roll high enough.
Saving throws he needs, Andy.
Yeah, the mind's
A chlamydia say.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the episode. And we look forward to catching up with you on next week's episode. What will happen? Ooh. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye. I'm off to buy a fire alarm.
I'd like to say a big shout out to our Ruby members, Joshua, Alberta, Paul C, Claire, Laura and Niall.
Our Sapphire members, Kylie, Dave R, Gary, and Emerald member, Stuart.
Our Diamond members, and remember, diamonds are forever. It's Zeke, it's Chris L, Martin M, Dave F, John, Bertie, Ash, and me.
And of course to our Ruling Council members, Chris, BT, Sophia and JP. Thank you to everybody for your continued support. And if you're not a Patreon member, please head over to patreon.com/charity DND where you can join the Charity Gaming Guild and support us today.